Don't be surprised by seducing spirits. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and labor in the word and doctrine. Shalom and in peace. May that be unto the elect of the nation of Israel. In 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, it says, Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So when you're going into, in fact, let's pull up the word. Many people will be seduced, man. Deceived. Deceiving and being deceived. Right. Let's have a look at the word seducing. Right, when you think of seducing, it goes back to that strange woman, right, with Proverbs. It talks about the wisdom, saying to wisdom that are my sister, my kinswoman, that shall keep thee from the strange woman. Trying to seduce you, man. So seducing, it also says deceiver.
Strong's G 4108, Planos.
It says wandering, roving, misleading, leading into error, a vagabond, tramp, impostor, corrupted deceiver, deceiver 4 times, seducing once. Right, what does it say about our adversary, the devil? Right, strolling around, seeing who can deceive, who can corrupt, also says there. Corrupt a deceiver, lead into error. All right, let's have a look here. 2, right, 2 John, chapter 1. You can just go there, 7. For many deceivers are entered into the world who confess not that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. Right, is it verse 18? Where it says many. Right, because there's a doctrine going around that's a seducing spirit. There's a doctrine going around that there's, a singular antichrist, when in reality there's many. Right, 1 John 2 and 18, little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard that antichrist shall come, even now are there many antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Right, that antichrist will come. Well, there's many. There's many that are in opposition to the idea of Hamashiach himself, or to the doctrine, because there's many that they might use that name, even Christ, but the doctrine they speak is completely contrary. Well, guess what? They are anti. They are against it. Right? If you're against the true doctrine, it's a doctrine of devils. Right? Seducing spirits. And then it says, what doctrines of devils? Look at the word for devil. Oops. Here. So you get the
Strong's G 1140, Daimonion.
Derivative of this.
Strong's G 1142, Daimon.
So you get that term. So daimon, where you get the term demon. So it's a god, a goddess, which biblically there's no such thing as a goddess. Right, there may be female spirits that people worship, but that's not, that's not on the right-hand side, say it like that. So it's an inferior deity, whether good or bad. In the NT, New Testament, so meaning the books from Matthew through Revelation, an evil spirit. Right, so going back to this word that's actually used, the conjugated, meaning to be, con meaning with, juga meaning to yoke, so it's yoked with, so it's got something on the end. It's like when you conjugate, a verb, when you're learning Spanish or whatever in your school class, they might tell you about conjugation, so how it's being conjugated. It says the divine power, deity, divinity, a spirit, a being inferior to God. So I'm assuming they're implying inferior to the Most High, superior to men. It says evil spirits are the messengers and ministers of the devil. It says devil 59 times and God once. So there is many spirits. When people say I'm spiritual, or I believe in God, or I believe in God, but not the scriptures. I'm just spiritual. I'm not into religion. I'm just spiritual. Well, what spirit you into, my youth? Now there's many spirits, and like it says, many false spirits are gone out to deceive. Right? So verse 2, 1 Timothy 4 and 2, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Let's get that in the NLT. NLT, these people are hypocrites and liars, and their consciences are dead, right? Without a conscience. You know, they always play that, like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. You know, that's the flesh and the spirit. The biggest battle you'll ever have to face, right? First Timothy 4 and 3. So this is examples of, you know, things that people will be doing in the last days when they have been given heed to seducing spirits, doctrines of devils, and when their conscience is dead or seared with a hot iron, as it says in the King James. Right, verse 3, forbidden to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which the Most High hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Now, you know, Apostle Paul spoke on marriage. You know, he was unmarried, and he said he wished that all men could be as him. You know, but if you're burning, then, you know, get married. And then the second, you know, so it's not forbidden. You know, some people will try and twist that and say, look, see, they're forbidden, or the apostles, look, they're forbidden. There's never been a decree put out, you know, that you can't. But there's advice, you know, of men that have had experience, and there's advice there. You know, so it is what it is. Then it says, and commanding to abstain from meats, which the Most High hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Now, certain Christians try to use this on us when we say, well, the law is good if a man use it lawfully. You know, they'll say, no, the law, it's not about the law, which is not about being justified by the law. You know, because the law can't make a man perfect. The law is perfect, but it can't make a man perfect. Faith makes a man perfect. But however, pork was not made to be received with thanksgiving. You know, it's not even funny, but it's funny. You know, it's not humorous, but it's crazy how much people can, you know, get it warped in their head and believe that they're correct. You know, deceiving and being deceived, that's a seducing spirit. You know, so you've been, how does Jake say? And nowadays it said rizzed up. Yeah, you've been rizzed up, you've been lotioned, you've been moved to. I'm not sure about any, you know, more American, you know, you've been chatted up basically by a spirit, and you've accepted it. So what this really is talking, it's not about pork, but it's on about them that are talking about, you know, vegan movements. You know, I'm a Hebrew Israelite vegan. All right, cool, bro. Cool. When the Pesach comes around, you best know what it is. You know, which you can abstain from. You can abstain from literal, you know, animal flesh. It's not a law unless it's on the Pesach. Right, so if that's your business, you can do that. You're allowed to abstain from meat. But if you're going around commanding people to abstain from meat, that's when it's a problem. You're making it a doctrine. You know, you can't make your personal preference a doctrine. If you don't eat meat on any other day except the Pesach, you know, that's not a problem. However, you can't go around commanding and making it a law. Then you're guilty of adding and taking away. So lamb was created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. You know, so fish with fins and scales, same thing. You know, other clean beasts. Chicken, for example. You know, beef. These are just common ones that we've got in, you know, in Babylon. And there's even some that are, you know, locusts. You don't see too many men out here eating locusts, but technically that's lawful. Now we might be, you know, us who have grown up over here, you know, the UK, USA, wherever, might be a bit opposed to that, but that's just a cultural thing. You know, it's not any weirder than eating a chicken, you know, but it's just our perception again. So, you know, you can't make that a doctrine. So people try and conflate this, you know, but that's again them being seduced, having doctrines of devils. You know, the so-called Christian church is in a mess, you know, to put it lightly. You know, how did I say, don't be surprised by seducing spirits. You know, don't be seduced. Do not give heed to seducing spirits. Shalom.